very scruffy belly, man. So let's do this.
Hey guys, what's up? Happy Sunday. So today I want to share with you guys what we did. We went to Texas, we found new godparents, and we got our hand and IFA. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. So our experience, okay, so we actually wanted to drive down there. I had this little complex about flying. So we drove. I wanted to do the road trip thing, and we had a grand time. We stayed at our godparents' house, our padrino and madrina, and we actually had a 3-day ceremony. It was fantastic. I can't go into details because it is secret to what they do during the initiation process. But we had a chance to wear all white. Some things I can tell you. We got a chance to wear all white. We got a chance to be out in nature, and it was 11 of us that got initiated. We got a chance to really get the meat and potatoes of our destiny, you know, like a really big long reading at the end, and where they give you like who your head Orishas are. Well, we know who our head Orisha is, and my head Orisha, one of them for this particular initiation, is Elegua. And we got our Arumala Ileke. Where is it? Right here, right here, and right here. So their colors for Santeria is green and yellow, and I see some, like I guess in Lakumi and Isese is green and brown. So, but ours is green and yellow. And our godparents are Cuban, Afro-Cuban, and Cuban. And we had some really great food. We had a big feast at the end. We had about 1, 2, 3. We had 3 babalaos. They're like our grandfather godparents, if that makes sense. And we had 1, 2, I would say 1 additional godmother, Adrena, and then I think she had like maybe 2 more helpers, and some people who were already initiated had the opportunity to help out. And it was just like a big old like nice grand dinner at the end, you know. That was part of one of the ceremonies, so I'll just say that much about that. And we received our Elegua, Ishu Elegua. We also received Ogun no Chosi. We also, now these are the real Orishas that we have, our own personal Orishas, where we can actually put them in our house. So we have them in our house. And we have Osun, not Oshun, but Osun. So Ishu Elegua, Ogun no Chosi, and Osun, which is the rooster. And we also have our Arumala, where we have our shrine that has all of our sacred materials inside of it. And so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we had a total of 5. And it was just beautiful. I love it. We had some beautiful, I have a beautiful shrine. I have all of my, I just love it. Like, and I start actually literally seeing things start working for me. And actually, I had an experience when I was at the last day. I had an experience where I just felt like this warmth just come over me, and I just felt the Spirit of God, and it was just so amazing. It was so amazing, and I just can't even begin to explain it in detail, but I just kept weeping and weeping and weeping, and I was crying so much. And then I got the actual prophecy / reading at the end, and it was just so in tune with what's going on. That's how I know. It was just so surreal. So I just want to say that, you know, my prayer has been for so long since I left the church to get closer to God. I used to pray, like literally beg God, like, Lord, I just really want to get closer to you. Almighty God, please just let me get closer to you. And then able to find this, and this just is so close to home for me. There's a lot of different things that you have to learn in this. It's like an ongoing process because it's a mystery. It's mysterious. And Babylao basically means keeper of secrets. So in this tradition, it was known for us to keep things secret because back in the slavery days, they did not want us to have access to our Orishas. So we had to call them saints. We had to stage it with acting like we were worshiping saints, like Saint Paul and so on and so forth. Just all the different saints that you could think of. And we were really worshiping our Orishas. And I remember reading something, and it was saying that back in the days when slave masters would go bankrupt in their business, or if they would have someone sick in their family, they would go to a knowledgeable person that was into the tradition of IFA, and they would get a reading, and they would ask for Igbos to be able to help their life get better. And because it really worked, they literally forbid us to go to our IFA, to go to our shrines, go to our Orishas, because they knew that we were going to be able to get the help that we need and get away from them, and they couldn't really own us because we had this powerful super force behind us. And so from what I'm understanding is that in this tradition, because there's the great Olodumare, there's Akamara, then there's Olodumare, and then Olodumare is the creator of the heavens and creator of everything, right? And so with Olodumare, there is additional parts to Olodumare that are actually here on planet Earth. And these parts of Olodumare, they manifest into human form, and they become ancestors like Chango, and so with that being said, because they're ancestors, we can become closer to our ancestors by connecting with our ancestors. They lead us to Olodumare because it's such a mysterious whole situation that mankind can't even fathom it. And I don't know if you guys ever, like if you are in the Christian tradition, if you can remember back in the day where Abraham, or was it Moses, someone was in the presence of God and they couldn't look at God because it was so sacred, and they couldn't even go on the mountain because it was so powerful, it would literally kill you. Moses. So it's the same with Olodumare. And it's like there's like in church, they have like deacons, certain ministers that you have to go through in order for you to actually, you know, like get certain needs met. You can't just go to the pastor, you can't just go to God, because there's like an entourage, you know, like a famous person. It's like an entourage. You can't get to that person, you got to go through the publicist. You get the point. So with all that being said, there are helpers on earth, and these particular helpers, I don't see how people can live without it. And back in the day, they used to call it the saints. So I don't see how people can live without the saints, the Orishas, because they literally help make your life better. When you can give an offering and you can say, I'm gonna give you this, I want you to help me with this, and you got to be specific, and it's certain things that you have to do, certain type of verbiages that you have to use, key words, not in English, in Yoruba. And there's certain type of, you can talk to them in English too, but there's certain things to get them to wake up. They're literally breathing entities that stay alive with your offerings and your sacrifices, and it just goes on and on and on. And it's not like a magic pot you can just knock on it and just get what you want. It's not like that. It's not like you actually can get these same results with putting up an altar. When I used to be oblivious to this whole thing here, I would set up an altar and I would think that I'm doing something, but that's not it. These vessels, they're like an empty vessel, but when you get your keeper of secrets, your Babylao, they actually bring them alive with certain things that they put inside the issue during the sacrifices and doing the things of that nature and feeding them and keeping them alive. That is what's connecting it to source, okay? Because back in the day, they used to do all these things. They used to do all these type of sacred things, and it just goes so on and on and on. And the fact that we were kept away from this, and that we have the knowledge of this right now, is so amazing. And I don't understand how people are so like disturbed by learning the truth. I would be so happy and grateful that I finally know the truth, because if we were so banned from reading, if we were banned from voting, if we were banned from drinking out of water fountains, if we were banned from all the whole shebang, why on God's green earth would they actually give us the true God? Why would they give us the true? They give us bits and pieces of it. They, of course, they're not going to tell us who the name of the Almighty Creator is. They're not going to tell you that. They're not going to tell you that anything. They want you to believe what they want to believe, because what they want you to believe, so that they can keep you in bondage. And that's exactly what has been happening. But now that I'm learning all about this whole mysterious thing here, and I'm getting more connected to it, I'm starting to see some major things happening in my life, and I'm starting to see how this is truly working. Now, I'm not going to say the things that I've experienced in Christianity were not real, because they very much so were real. It's just that sometimes we're ignorant to the fact of what we're doing. And even though the Creator knows that, the Creator still allows itself and entities to help us, because we are oblivious. But one day we'll learn the truth. We'll hear the truth, and it's up to us to be able to see if that resonates with us and if we want to receive it, right? So that's my brief little synopsis on it. I want to go more in detail about everything, and I am, because I'm the type of person that loves to keep advancing myself. I love to advance myself. I love to learn. I love education, and I love the truth. And people ask me, well, how do you know that this is the truth? I know that this is the truth because if you do your research, you actually will study and find out the first actual tribe that was on the earth. Who was the first tribe? What was the first tribe's name? And it goes to, I think they're like, I think it's begins with a B, and then that particular tribe is branched from the Yoruba people, and it goes on and so forth and so forth and so on. And even in Kemetic principles, they talk a lot about the different gods there. Those gods are actually Orishas. So it's like, so who would Obatala be in Kemetic? Would it be Horus? Obatala would be Horus. Who would Obatala be? So Jesus is Obatala in Christianity, and in every religion.
Yeah, Amen Ra.
Huh?
Amen Ra.
So Amen Ra would be Obatala as Jesus, and then Oshun would be Isis, and then Oshun also would be in Aphrodite, and then also over in the Indian culture where they worship Lakshmi. So that is in what's the name of their religion? It's called Hinduism. So in Hinduism, Oshun would be Lakshmi. So it just goes on, and all these pantheons, it just goes on and on and on. Each culture calls it something different, right? But when you actually learn the secrets, when you actually learn how to tap in, because they're only going to tell you so much. They're only going to tell you so much so that you can literally connect, because it's like you just get so much that you can actually just tap in a little bit. But if you start studying, if you get up under a good godparent, they will actually start revealing to you certain things, and you'll know these certain things, because we got to keep the tradition going and going, you know, on and on and on. So it's like certain sides. Like I know, for an example, when you make Ocha, which is the really big initiation where they shave the head, you actually, when you go into the sacred room there in front of your Orishas, you're supposed to bow down and lay on the left side and then lay on the right side. And the reason why is because there's a left side at God's hand and there's right side at God's hand, and you want to have an equal balance here. I'll go more into detail after I do some more studying, because I know I'm going to have some people in the comments trying to correct me, but that's okay, because we're all here to learn. And I don't believe in always looking at YouTube thinking that they know all the answers. I always like to do my own research. So that's why I'm telling you guys, I'm still new to this. I'm being true to this, and I'm going to definitely study and make sure that I give myself what I need to give myself versus just taking somebody else's word for it. Now, some of this stuff is not going to be in books because it's passed down from tradition. You know what I mean? From lineage on to lineage. And each Ile, which is a house, they have a godparents there, and it's godparents that are going to tell you certain things that you need to know. Now, it's really good to make sure that you connect with your godparents and have good godparents that's willing to share with you certain things, because some of them will just let you get initiated and just leave you be, you know, and then you're oblivious to what's going on. You don't know what the hell, you know what I mean? You don't know what to say to wake them up. You don't know what to say to tap in, but that's okay. You just move on to another godparent and find another godparent. So, I mean, I can happily say that we really have we have like maybe 3 godparents. The one who gave us our Elekes, and now we have another one. But the one who gave us our Elekes, we talk to him every now and then, and it's like, we just pretty much have to wait around on him to like initiate things and get things started, or we call him and ask questions. It's really just, you know, call when you have questions type of thing. And we were gonna move to Texas, and we still are. So we really literally just got situated down there in advance so that we can be all set for when we actually make the big move. But I wanted to share this with you real quick. We're on our way to another Botanica here in Ohio, and I wanted to share the good news with you guys that I am moving up further. I did learn a lot about how you can't just go jump into being a priestess. I always mess up. You got to be a Ianifa first and all that good stuff. So I'm just learning. And you get your Elekes, then you receive your hand of IFA. You know, I mean, you can do the big old Ocha thing at first, but what good is that going to do if you don't know what the hell you're doing and you don't know how to tap in? You don't know some of the secrets. So you guys have a great Sunday, and stay subscribed to the channel if you're not a subscriber. And make sure that you hit that bell for more notifications. I know this was kind of like a quick little tidbit of things, but I said an awful lot, so I'm hoping that this did help someone who's interested in getting more connected to their African spirituality, or just getting your hand of IFA, even if you're not an African, if you're not African American. But we were all branched off from our culture, so the African Americans. So yeah, you guys, gods and goddesses, moons and suns, gods and goddesses, moons and suns. Moon represents feminine energy and sun represents masculine energy, right?
Right.